200.
Okay, here we go. The Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Page 14. Now, yesterday, we took three numbers and we just decided, is this a right triangle or is this not a right triangle? Today, what we're going to do is we're going to take a right triangle and solve for one of the sides. Okay, so take this one for example. Okay, one of the sides is labeled 5, one of them 12, one of them x. Jacob, which one of those three is our hypotenuse? Okay, you're saying this is the hypotenuse right here. So I'm going to label it C, just so I remember, hey, when I do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, that's my hypotenuse. That's my one that's all by itself. Ugh. All right, so what we're going to do, please do not use that to write. That's only for marker boards. We are going to take 5 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. Oh, Kanaya, I love where you're going with this. Kanaya said 5 squared is 25. Kadam, what's 12 squared? Okay, we aren't using calculators, but you can add numbers together. What is 25 plus 144? Ooh, oof, okay. Okay, so let's talk about the reason we're doing this in this unit is because we've talked about squares and square roots. We talked about a square root undoing a square. So do you see how we have x squared? I just want to know what x equals. I don't want the square. So to undo a square, we can square root both sides.
How do we do that with the x?
Well, the square root and the square undo each other. And we have x equals the square root of 169. Hey, Emma. Ooh, I didn't even get to ask my question. Is 169 a perfect square? It is. So we can say that x equals 13. Do you have a question? What, Austin? Okay. Hey, I promise you're going to be ready for algebra. I have some pretty high standards in here for you. You're going to be just fine. Okay. A lot of the things that you're going to see in algebra first semester are things that we've talked about in here already. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about number 2. Cash, which one is our hypotenuse?
X.
Good. Yes, my dear. No. Like a senior 2 times, like they go to high school for 5 years. No, I believe that all of you can be just fine. I am sure. I really do have faith in all of you. Okay, so we're gonna write 15 squared plus 18 squared equals x squared. Because remember, whatever our hypotenuse is, it's gonna go over here where c squared is. Yes. So Kadam asked, 15 squared is 225, right? Yep. What is 18 squared?
314. Oh, I'm gonna say that too.
Austin. Hey, Austin. Can you add 225 and 324 for me, please? And 324.
Wait, what did you say?
How about 549? Okay, right? 549? Okay, now notice how we have x squared. What did we talk about? How do we undo a square? Oh, yep, that's pretty specific. The square root. Because a square root and a square undo each other. So we have x equals the square root of 549. Is 549 one of our perfect squares? No, so we're just gonna leave it as an irrational number, square root of 549. If it's not a perfect square, leave it under the radical. If it is a perfect square, well then give me what the answer is. Okay. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm getting that question all day. But it's like, see, this is the tag.
What's your favorite color?
Purple. Because I like purple. Okay, what I would like you to do is work on number 4 and make sure you and your elbow partner come up with the same answer.
And look at me. Dark enough.
That's how it works.
So what we talked about yesterday, for a triangle,
Oh, that's wrong.
a square plus
Got the squirrel.
C is our hypotenuse. Okay. So like on this problem right here, which one is the hypotenuse? Okay. So we're gonna say 9 squared plus 12 squared.
I am ripping this kid's head off. It's like a one bar.
So then.
And then he's like,
So here it says.
oh. Grandma never died. I'm in
Human centipedes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah. So is 225 a perfect square?
Oh, it makes
Yes. So what is
whatsoever.
Okay, we'll talk about it all together, okay? All right, here we go. Austin, how did you set this up? What squared plus what squared equals what squared? I don't even see a 14.
Oh, that's 3.
Okay, 9 squared. Okay, so then we have 81 plus 144 equals x squared. Okay, so Emma is saying that x squared is 225. Kanaya. Okay, so what do we got to do to both sides? Okay, so if we square root both sides, then the square root and the square undo each other. And what's our answer, Kanaya? Okay, 225 is a perfect square. So since 15 squared is 225, then the square root of 225 is 15. For somebody who's confused, you're doing an awful poor job of paying attention. Then ignore him. All right. So did you hear that explanation? The square root of 225, it's a perfect square. 225 is 15 squared, so our answer is 15. I did, x equals 15. No? So the square, we undo it with the square root. All right, now look at number 5. What makes number 5 just a little bit different? Aha. Either put it away or give it to me to hold.
Here, can you hold it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
It's a bouncy ball. No.
It's a really sweet bouncy ball too. Okay. So Reagan said this time x is a leg. Austin, which one is the hypotenuse? Yes. So this is our C. So when we do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we are going to do x squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. So notice how now x is on the other side. That's okay. You're talking it right now. Hold on. Kaden, what's 8 squared? Okay. Tony, what's 10 squared? Tony, what's 10 squared? What's 10 times 10? Okay.
Wait. Why wouldn't 10 squared be 5?
10 squared means 10 times 10.
Oh, my bad.
Now, I want x squared to be by itself. So we are going to need to draw a fence. And Reagan, we need to subtract 64 from both sides so that this goes away. And we have x squared equals 36.
Wouldn't it be 6? It'd be 6.
Correct. Well, x squared equals 36. Cash, how do we get just x? How do we undo that square?
We did this the first day. I'm saying many.
What did we do up here to undo the square? The soupity-doop, that's called a square root. Because a square root and a square undo each other. Hey, Cash, is 36 a perfect square?
Yes.
Which one? X equals 6. Okay, we're gonna do number 7. Get your pack up. All right, Jacob, which one's the hypotenuse? 9 is our hypotenuse. So when we do a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we're gonna do x squared plus 4 squared equals 9 squared.
Wait, your birth, or your.
Reserve. Okay, Sophia, what's 4 squared? Okay, Kaylee, what's 9 squared? 81. So if I want x squared by itself, we are going to need to subtract 16 over.
What they selling?
I need to know.
Yo.
I need to know what 81 minus 16 is. How many 5? 65. Can you just put on all fours and stop talking?
It's helping me.
All right. What's our last step? The doop-de-doop? Yep, square root both sides. Hey, is, okay. You guys are just reading my mind. 65 is not a perfect square. Okay. I did promise you. So this is what you're gonna do.